everybody? Welcome to the Uncommon Podcast. Back at it again. This time we're in Vancouver, and I'm here to stay for a little while, so I'm excited. Our very first guest in Vancouver is Grizzy Wynter, and I am stoked to have this man on. It's been a long time coming. We've been talking to Mayank about it. I've been dreaming about this moment, man. Getting you in here and just diving into it. So I'll let you introduce yourself, and then we'll just jump right into it, my friend.
All right, cool. What's up, y'all? My name is Grizzy Wynter. I am a rapper, singer, songwriter, actor, podcaster.
Yeah, podcaster now, baby.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I'm also a comic book artist.
Oh shit!
And I'm basically my face is everywhere. So what's up, motherfuckers? Yeah. So about me, I've been making music about 7 years. If you ever want to check out my old shit, it's under my SoundCloud under the same name. Yeah, for 2012, I think I dropped my first track. Actually, I started recording like 2008.
Oh shit!
I just didn't drop any songs till like then. Yeah. I was just like, I don't know, yeah. I went through like a couple name changes in between that period. I was Rude Boy first, and then I was Grizzy Grizz, and then Grizzy Wynter is like the final evolution.
Nice. How'd you get to that name? Like, how'd you get to Grizzy Wynter, man?
Literally, like, Winter is my last name. Like, the way it's spelled in my stage name is exactly my last name.
Dope.
And, like, I liked Grizzy. Like, I wanted... Because I was leaving the Rude Boy thing behind, because it was like that Rihanna came with that song Rude Boy, and I was like, I can't use that name now.
Yeah.
It sounds...
The song's too big, man.
Yeah, and it was like, and then it'd just be mad corny, so like, what do I do? So I was kind of like, fuck, I need something that like represents me, and represents where I'm from, and this and that, and my real name is Gerald, so I was kind of like, okay, I need something G, and then I'm like, I thought of the Grizzlies for something, and I was like, oh, right. Like, fuck, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, Grizzy. And then it was Grizzy Grizz and Grizzy Wynter. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, that's it. Like, I'm happy with it. The funny thing is, after I changed my name to what it is now, like, everybody started taking me way more serious. And it was like, oh, shit, like, your name is dope, this and that. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I should have done this like 7 years ago. Like, what the fuck am I doing?
That's how it goes, man.
That's how it goes, yeah. Yeah, I've been... steady, just dropping tracks. I've been bigging up my EP, Illuminate, for a bit. I'm gonna drop it in March. Nice. I keep like putting it back. It keeps getting pushed back a little bit because timing is all important in music and stuff.
For sure, man.
But upcoming, I got a couple shows coming up. Roots and Rhymes, December 6th. Wednesday, December 6th or November 6th, at Studio. Tight. It's me and Liza Smith, Michelle's Cassette, X Blues, and sorry, bro. I'm trying to remember it. Stony.
That's all good, man.
And then I'm headlining my own event. Winter's coming November 15th. Yeah. November 15th, Winter's coming at Event Garden. I'm headlining that event. So it will be like Eliza Smith, Young 500, Jay Jeezy, Uno, Rocco, couple, and I'm terrible. My memory's bad, guys. Yeah. Y'all know me. I smoke weed. Like, I'm not, my memory is 95% great. That 5% is the difference factor.
Amen. I feel that. It's hard to remember.
It's hard to remember everything, right?
Yeah,
so
100%.
And then December 4th, I am also performing at Fortune for the SoCan Christmas concert, which basically showcases what they feel is like the biggest upcoming artist from the city. Yeah. So that was gonna be like me, Sade, my homegirl Sade, Ariel, Heatwave, and a bunch of other artists. Tight. So, and that's gonna be December 4th. But make sure you cop them tickets. Yeah. Just November 6th and November 17th for Roots and Rhymes, and for Winter's coming, my first headlining show. You know what I mean? Like, I hope to see everybody there. I always like to see everybody's faces. You know what I mean? And I'll have merch there because my merch line has just come in. So I got my hats and I got my shirts and stuff.
Sick.
So.
Yeah, it looks like you're wearing a shirt right now,
Yeah,
hey? Grizzy Gang?
Grizzy Gang. Yeah,
That's
Grizzy
tight.
Gang shirt. You know
I
what I'm
like
saying? Yeah, I'll have. Oh, sorry. I should probably.
Yeah, dude. We'll get a shot of it. Yeah, that's sick.
Oh, my bad. And yeah, so I have that on sale. You hit me up in the DMs. I'm gonna have all of it on my website soon, right? So when those adjustments are made, I'll show you all, and then it'll be all good. So
100%, man.
yeah,
Yo, I love that. I love that. Man's out here hustling hard. Let's get it.
definitely.
All right, let's take it back. What got you into producing music, man? You said you started in 2008?
I started writing songs when I was in high school.
Damn.
So that was before that. Yeah, so I started writing when I was 16, and I never showed anybody because I wasn't really good.
Yeah.
And I couldn't freestyle worth a damn. I remember I got real cocky one day and tried to challenge the best rapper in my school. And like we went to like the yard, like because we were all in the same like bad kid class. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
we'll put all the bad kids in the same class. So I'm like, okay, cool. So he starts like rapping at me, and I'm like, I'm not gonna beat this motherfucker. I'm like, I'm not gonna beat this nigga. Like, how the fuck am I gonna get this shit? So like, I kind of kept my whole thing on a low, and then when I started taking it seriously, like I like for me, like hip hop and rap and the whole culture around it, like I studied it like I'm studying for like my fucking SATs kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I went back and I started.
Smart.
This thing would happen on Much More Music, or in America it's like VH1, the hip hop honors, whatever. So they would like honor like pioneers in the genre and stuff. So
Right.
like I would watch that every year, and then I'd see like they do like LL Cool J, Sugar Hill Gang, like Big Daddy Kane, like Rakim, like all these dudes who were like way before my time, because I'm essentially a child of like the late 90s, early 2000s, mostly early 2000s, like 2010s was like my era.
Yeah.
And so like I would go back and I would like go on LimeWire. Shouts to LimeWire. You
Yeah,
get my
back
computer
in the
mad
day.
viruses, but you hook me up no music. Go on LimeWire and just download so many of their songs, and I would like listen to them, and then like I would figure out the cadence and whatever, and I literally went back in time. Like I'd go start at like the late 70s when it started in the Bronx, and then moved to the 80s with the Run DMC and Big Daddy Kane and Rakim and all those other guys, and
Yeah.
NWA, and then I hit the 90s, and that was I already knew so much, and then you know what I mean, like work my way up. When I started writing music, I started just writing raps.
Yeah.
My producing skills were not. They're still. I'm still working on it, but like I'm more. Like I'm definitely more of a songwriter. Like I can convey how I feel or like what I see through words.
Yeah, for sure, man.
And
You gotta narrow that down anyways, right?
yeah, exactly. So I started doing that, and then once I started, one day I was like chilling with some of my homeboy Godfrey, and he was like, or he was already like 2 or 3 years younger than me, and he was already like performing in front of his school and like doing all this shit, and like people knew he rapped or whatever, and I showed him this thing I'd been working on. I was like, bro, this is really good. Like I was like doing my biggest influence as far as like how my rap style goes is Lil Wayne, because like how much energy he has, the
Yeah, man.
punchlines, like the inventiveness of his bars, like the whole thing. Like when I first heard him when he was like, like getting to be like Lil Wayne that we know, I was like, yo, dude, this guy's he's amazing, and I fucked with everything that he did, and so I studied his craft, like how he rapped for so long, and because that's how I set up my bars, was like little things that trace back to something else, and a punchline and this and then that, and I was like, yo, dude, this is really good. And so I started like recording maybe 2008, 2009. I did 3 or 4 songs. I didn't really put anything out for a bit because I didn't know what to do with it, right? I was trying to like, in my head, I thought, I'll make an album first because everybody knows who I am.
Yeah.
And and then I think Christmas 2011, like New Year's Day 2012, or New Year's Day in 2012, I was like, I'm just gonna put this shit out. And I dropped it, and then everybody's like, "Oh, dude, like you're good." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Okay, cool." And I just kept dropping shit for consistently for the rest of the year, until I couldn't because I've gotten some legal issues, and
Fun.
but it gave me so much more material after that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
100%, man.
I had, and I was determined after that. I'm like, look, like, cause I done this one song. It was called "Prayers for My Enemies," and I kind of made a series out of it. Like I have 2, and then I have 3 on my next upcoming project.
Sweet.
And I got a hit up for like one of Tex Nine's reps.
That's
And
tight.
he's like, "This is really fucking good." Like, but they were also hitting me with a bunch of like I couldn't work with my friends anymore. I had to charge all these people. I had to do all
Yeah.
this and that. I was like, bro, no, like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't understand the business then. I didn't.
Right.
I needed time to understand how the business works because
Yeah.
at that point I was just trying to make music,
Definitely, man.
right? And the music business is a business. So
Yeah.
like, if you're gonna be doing this for real, you kind of have to understand like it is a hustle, and you also have to not to get hustled because there is a lot of people in this industry who will try to hustle you.
Yo, so true, man.
Yeah.
So true. I feel like nobody really touches on that. It's
No,
like
it's
you find your little group of supportive people, which is dope, and that's what you want to breed, and that's
Yeah.
what you want to like push up to the next level. But there's
Right.
so many people that will just try and hustle you for like to steal some of your music or to steal some of that money or just
Yeah.
get some of your fame for a bit, and that's
yeah,
it.
exactly. Like I have a big problem with how promoters in the city
Yeah, yo.
because except for shout out to my boy Max, Mr. Troutbug, and Roots and Rhymes, and like and Co-op and like some other people that I know. Like there's a lot of trash promoters out here, and they're garbage because they literally rip the money off like these younger kids or these dudes trying to like these people trying to make something of themselves, rip their money off, pay them basically to fund their shows,
Yeah,
and then nothing happens of it, right?
yeah.
And they keep doing that shit, and it's like, oh, we don't make any money. I'm like, but the last promoter who hit me up for some bullshit was like, he wanted me to open up for some artist that doesn't really align with
Your
like,
style.
my style, not even my style, just like my core values as a person kind of
Yeah,
thing.
absolutely.
And they wanted me to sell tickets, and I'm like, why am I like I'm fuck the ticket, fuck the ticket system. If you're a promoter, you should have a team of people selling tickets. It is not the
True.
artist's job to sell your tickets for you.
No, man.
That is some bullshit. Like if you have like if you're starting out and they want to see how many people you can bring to a show, yes, I understand. There is a learning curve.
For sure.
But if you have built yourself up to a point where everybody kind of knows you and you're still hitting up like artists on their way on their way like growing up, growing up, and people are and like to sell tickets for you, that's fucking garbage.
Yeah, dude.
And anybody who tells you differently, they're just trying to steal your money,
Yeah.
right? So
100%.
like, yeah, this guy hits me up and he's like, oh, like tickets are like $40, $40. I keep $5. And I'm like, that's a fucking slave deal.
Yeah.
Straight up. I was like, that's a fucking slave deal. That means you make $800 off 20 tickets and I make $139. I mean, I make no fucking money, and I probably have to save some money to cover some shit, because that's usually what happens when you have to sell tickets for these assholes.
Yep.
And I'm like, no, like, I'm not doing that. Like, either you split the ticket price with me down 50-50 and I keep half, or I don't do the fucking thing, and don't hit me up for any more of this shit, because I'm
Yeah.
not doing it.
100%, man.
Because it's garbage, and I don't like. There is a certain group of people. I'm just gonna call them out. Where it's at entertainment has
Ooh.
fucking. They set up this whole pay to play system
Yeah.
that they basically just rob from artists to fund their events, and then the artist makes nothing. Like it's really just it's a straight finesse racket, and I'm not the only person who's done it to. They've done it to like every artist in the city, pretty much.
Damn.
And they and they feed into the bullshit. They feed into like first they were trying to find all the gangster type rappers or whatever, and then now they're fueling a bunch of drug rappers, and I'm kind of like,
Oh,
bro,
man.
you know what I mean? Like I don't really fuck with their business model or how they do things.
Yeah,
and
dude.
I've been vocal about it, and I'm not really scared to say shit. I've had people tell me like if I say something, I'm not gonna play these shows. But like these guys, like they fucking book artists that cannot get over the border, get artists to open for those artists, make them pay like $1,000 for open for an artist that can't come here, and then be like, oh, you paid the money, like. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I see I see how you move, bro, and you move like fucking hot garbage. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't deal with it.
100%, man. Yo, that's not the way to do it at all.
Right.
Especially if you're bringing everything to the table and they're just
Yeah.
like, yo, we'll sell a little bit of tickets. It's
Yeah.
not the way to do it at all, man.
No, it's bullshit, and it's like, because the way that I was told to it by the person who runs it was that like, I gotta pay for the tickets. You know how much it costs to pay to print off tickets? $50.
Yeah.
That's not per ticket. That's for like a shit ton.
Right.
So like, why I'm paying you for what?
Exactly.
Right? Like you know what I mean? Like I appreciate these new promotional companies that are doing this now, who are like, okay, we know you have a following, you know you can bring a crowd here. We're gonna pay you for your show.
Yeah.
We're gonna like, you know, we're gonna get you paid if you have to sell tickets to sell your show, whatever, you get a percentage of that. Or if you don't sell all of the tickets, just bring it back.
100%, man.
Right? You know what I mean? Or whatever. But like, not like, hey, you're in debt to us now because we gave you a shot. It's like, you gave me a shot on a shitty stage.
Exactly.
Right? Like, don't give me a shot in a
bro.
basement and then tell me I have to owe you for the fucking basement.
Yeah. That's so true, though.
Right?
Just hucking it, man.
Just hucking it.
Yo, that's terrible. That's terrible. Well, I'm glad you're getting out of that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're getting out of that, man.
I just I don't want to put that out there because there's a lot of younger artists I know who really want their shot, and I'm like, bro, like, all good things come in time, bro. You just keep working on your shit, keep like refining your craft or whatever, because all that shit will like work itself out, right? But the minute that I was talking to my girl about this today. I was like, the minute that somebody was talking to me about it yesterday, was that there's always a moment where you have a choice, and between like doing it for the money or doing it or standing your ground. And when you start compromising who you are for a check, is when they get to fuck you over.
100%, man.
Right? So if you for example, now, like with my merch line and stuff, like people who want to buy my merch, if they try to hit me up and ask me for a deal, I'm like, no, like I'm running a business.
Yeah.
Right? You don't go to fucking Walmart and when something, you don't go to like a store, like a fucking, like the Gucci store or like Apple and shit, and then ask them to cut the price in half for you. Like, that's some bullshit. Don't ask me to do that because I'm running a business. Like, I have to cover my costs, I have to cover my overhead, and I have to keep making the merchandise so everybody can have it.
Exactly.
Right? It's like, just because you want an overdose and we're like a discount because we're friends doesn't mean you're going to get it, right? Like,
yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, I was talking to my other buddy about this too, and he said your family and your friends should be your biggest supporters, so they should be willing to pay full price and be like happy to promote this shit.
Exactly.
Because if it was vice versa and they were switch roles, I would pay full price for it.
Like,
if they offered me some discounts or whatever, for sure I'd take it, but I wouldn't be like, nah, man, I need 50%.
I need like
I'm
half off
or
something. Like, don't do that shit. Like, that to me is when somebody does that to me, makes me know that they don't really fuck with me. They're just, you know what I mean? So when like someone does that to me, like I had somebody do that to me recently, and I'm like, we're friends, but I'm also like, oh, okay, so, but this motherfucker makes way more money than me.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like at this point in our lives, and I'm kind of like,
what are you doing?
Right? Like,
what
how
are you doing,
you,
bro?
why?
What you thinking?
Yeah, right? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
$40 for a hat is too expensive. You spend $56 at like fucking Champs for a hat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you're supporting the homie, but like, okay, cool. Right? So like, I'm very aware of like, when I'm saying that is that like, be aware that like, don't compromise yourself, man. Like,
you have to know your value, and you have to really stick to it once you have set that price, because that's gonna be the hardest, and that's gonna be the game changer that you're talking about. Yeah, exactly. Is like, if you say like, hey, like these videos or like my music is X amount, and then somebody comes up to you and they're like, well, what if you cut that in half for me? It's like, okay, that's not gonna happen unless we're taking a lot of shit away. Like, you don't get the full package for 50% off. It doesn't happen. I used to do that all the time in my video business when I started, and it sucked because half the time I would pitch them, I would sell them on the project, and then like 2 days later they'd come back and be like, hey man, I actually need it to be like 50% less. And I'm like, No, we just spent all this time doing it, and now you're telling me you want a huge discount?
Yeah,
I don't even know you. I don't even know you, man. And they're like, well, it can't be that hard. Like, the work you're doing isn't that intense, or like, it's not that much. I'm like, all right, cool, bro. You just do it yourself then. Like, see where you're at.
Yeah. Let's see how this works out for you, motherfucker. Let's check it out. I mean, that's the thing. Because I've worked in film and because I've made my own video, I tend to like people what they're worth.
Yeah.
If someone does a shitty job or something, I'm not gonna pay you, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah.
Like I've had videos that like people have done for me that literally did not come out to what I were. I'm like, bro, like I'm not gonna pay you for this because it's just like, you know what I mean? Like for what? Like I can't use it, right?
Yeah.
And that's the case. Like, and that's how it is. But like, if I know what you're worth or whatever, like just like I respect you enough to pay you what you're worth. You should do the same to me.
Amen.
Right. So like.
Man.
Like I feel like what the problem with this city in particular is everybody's trying to undercut everybody.
Oh yeah,
and it's kind of like it's ridiculous to a point because it's like, at what point are we trying to build a community here?
Yeah,
right. You know what I'm saying? Like
everybody's just trying to get on top of each other.
Yeah,
man.
exactly. Like we're trying. Like the reason why people like Toronto did is because like the person I was talking to last night, like, she was part of the initial movement that blew Toronto up. Like when they were filming Honey there, when Cardinal was coming up, when all that shit, when Toronto's making this massive push to be like this center of like northern hip hop and shit, she was a part of that, and she's like, everybody worked together. Yeah, everybody paid like people would pay each other what they're worth, and when you start acting sus and moving weird, people just wouldn't fuck with you anymore. Yeah, right. Yeah. And that's how I think. It's like if you move weird, I'm not fucking with you, man. But unfortunately, we live in a city where like people like to like ignore fuck shit. Yeah. I am not ignoring fuck shit. If you do some fuck shit to me or my people, I'm not fucking with you. And on top of that, I'm the kind of motherfucker who will call you out to your face. Yeah. And I'm a big nigga, bro. So if you want to swing, we can swing, bro, because I can knock your ass out either way. Yeah. But I'm not really scared to do that because at the end of the day, I know who I am and I'm comfortable enough in myself to be like, look, if you want to do something, if you want to work with me on something, then respect me enough, just like I respect you. I respect everybody off top. Unless you show me something that makes me not want to be around you, I'm still gonna give you that respect unless like you do something disrespectful. True. Right? That's it.
That's how I feel too, man. Yeah.
That's all it is, right?
Yeah, you just gotta watch out for the snakes.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for the snakes. J. Cole said it, bro. If you don't know that song, then like go cop Born Sinner, and just listen to that song. I'm telling you, the land of the snakes. It's for real.
It is very true,
it's
man.
Very
Especially in the entertainment industry, dude. Yeah. Because so many people are fake, and so many like producers or like even how you're saying event promoters and shit like this, they'll just say like, "Oh man, I can do all this for you. I'll get this whole crew behind you. I'll do this whole thing. You just have to pay this huge amount, or you have to do this for me." And it never ends up working, man.
No, exactly. Like I had a label in the States recently. Like I was looking for an A&R person.
Yeah.
And like I'd follow this guy that followed me, and I was like, okay, cool. And I got a phone conversation. I had to pay this guy to have a fucking phone conversation. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like I get it. Some people like time is money and shit, you know.
Yeah,
like,
consultations.
Yeah,
whatever,
right. I get it. So I'm like, and he was talking about something like fucking like doing this whole thing, and like it was like a $12,000 package or some bullshit. Yeah. And I was like, wait, nigga, what? And I'm like, It was like just film a video and do all this stuff and handle my A&R and blah blah blah. I'm like, if you're a label and you're investing in me, why am I paying you?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
That's not an investment.
That's not an investment. Like I'm like, it's like, well, you know, whatever. And I'm like, look, the problem is because of the music industry now is blown up to a point where like you literally do have to do it by yourself at this point because there's too many people trying to do music at this point. Right?
So oversaturated right now.
Yeah, so oversaturated right now that like you're like with oversaturation comes people trying to make money off oversaturation, and those people are usually scammers. Yeah, right, because they see opportunistic things as like, oh, like pretending with Instagram too. It's so easy to make a whole account that's not real. Yeah. Right, and be like, I'm doing this, I've done this, da 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 da, and then it's like, send the money in, and it's like you never see it again, right? Yeah. I feel like with that in mind, the best thing for as an artist is to kind of like make sure that your receipts are right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you do your background checks, you double check it in this person, you make sure
100%.
shit's for real. You don't like, because I've had a problem in the past of like getting too hype on an opportunity and not really thinking it through, and then like regretting it in the end.
Me too, man.
And then kind of like, shit, like I probably
Fucks you
should
up.
have like done that shit. I should have done that. Or
You just get hyped on the end vision of it.
yeah,
and
you
you're
like your
"This is
brain
sick."
goes, and you're like, oh, this is the thing, and it's like, actually, motherfucker, you just got ripped.
Yeah.
The fuck up.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like that's part of the learning curve, man. Like
Yeah.
I hate the idea. I hate the term L because we use it in a negative thing. Like somebody would listen to what I just said and be like that. Oh, this motherfucker took an L. It's like,
Yeah.
no, fam, I learned a lesson.
Yeah, exactly.
You need mistakes in life to learn lessons.
Man, you grow through conflict.
Exactly. You don't. If you've had a pretty cushy life and you want to be a rapper, what are you gonna rap about?
Nothing. Bro, you're gonna rap about all the drugs you do.
Oh yeah, all
the
that
fucking,
bullshit. Yeah, exactly. You're not
bullshit, bro.
You're not gonna talk about anything real.
Yeah.
Like, and that's
agree.
that's the thing. Like, you need to make mistakes to learn your lesson. Like, I don't know who I was listening to the other day. I was watching the Breakfast Club and like T-Pain was on there and he was talking about that thing where he lost like $40 million in bad investments to the point where he had to ask friends to get money to pay for Burger King for his kids. Like he was
crazy, yeah.
broke. And just T-Pain, like T-Pain in the 2000s was like the guy.
Yeah, he was huge, man.
Yeah, right.
Huge R&B, everything. Man.
Everything. He was on everybody's song.
Yeah. Well, he pioneered auto-tune.
He pioneered auto-tune. You know what I mean? Like, and then, but he's like, I needed to learn the lesson, so like, comfortable on that now. Like, he's still good.
Yeah.
He didn't lose his house. He's still whatever. He's just like, but you need to learn the lessons and shit. And like, honestly, like, the tough times in life is what endears people to you.
Yeah.
As an artist, like.
That's how you relate to people.
Exactly.
Man.
Like, I don't really shy away from my past. I don't, like, it is what it is. Like, I use a lot of my past and a lot of my experiences in my music because I don't know how to write about shit that's not, I haven't experienced or I haven't seen or somebody hasn't told me about, because for me, being real is all I really have ever had. Like, I remember, I wasn't given like a shit ton of opportunities. I didn't like finish college. I didn't fucking. My mom didn't have no money. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So it's like, for me, like, all I've ever had is just being my genuine self. And all the times in my life when I stopped being for real and stopped being genuine is when things went really shitty.
Very true, man.
Right? So like,
it's always how it is.
It's always how it is. So it's like, if all you have is being real, then lean into it. Don't try
away from it just because of the crowd's like, oh, you shouldn't say that, or like a couple of your friends who are fucking bougie or some shit are like, no, you can't say that around us. Like, you shouldn't push that persona. It's like, well, it's the real me, man.
It's the real me. Like, I don't I was on set yesterday, actually, last night, and like all this fuck shit was happening around me, and basically I was trying to explain to like the Wrangler, I was like, hey, look, like this and this, like I kind of feel like I've been like singled out here. It's like, well, maybe if you changed, or maybe if you worked on this, and I'm like, so basically you're wanting me to change my entire personality to make you feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is, man.
I refuse to be anybody else but myself for anybody else.
Yo, that's so true. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I like respect a lot of what you make, and just like the authenticity that you push out there. It's real. Like, it comes through your voice and you can tell. It's not just like, oh man, I'm just trying to say this because it's the right thing to say at the right time, or like I'm trying to appease these people, man.
No, you can't. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Like, I don't want to be I wouldn't be doing the music the way I've been doing it, and like really making music the way I have been, or like going like how my hustle be so hard if I didn't really believe that this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Like if I didn't to me, like, going through all the crazy shit I've gone through in my entire life.
Yeah.
If I didn't go through all that shit for me to share it with people in a way that people can relate to it, then what the fuck was it for?
True.
Right?
Yeah. There's more than just pain. There's more than just suffering, man.
Yeah, there's like so many different things you can use. And I feel like a lot of people
They shy away from that.
They shy away from it because
Yeah.
they want the pretty picture. You know what I'm saying? They want
Yeah.
the
They want the house on the hills, man.
yeah, they want the flawless skin, the perfect hair,
Yeah.
the perfect relationship,
Yeah.
whatever, like all sort of shit. Like it's like that fucking those relationship memes and shit. It's like you don't see what happens when y'all aren't around your friends and shit. Like they fight.
Yeah.
It's like you don't get the perfect picture without the bullshit behind the picture.
Exactly, man.
Right? You gotta take the good and the bad at the same thing and then you don't get just good. You have to take the bad and mold it into good because that's how you get like success.
Yeah, and that's how you make some of the best stuff. Like that's how you make some of the best art, in my opinion, man.
Exactly. You don't always have to live in that pain, but you can take that pain
sure.
and make it into something good.
Yeah, make it into something real, make it into something usable.
Exactly.
100%. So, was there like a moment in your life, or like in a certain event, where you're like, "Music is for me, and this is how I know it is"?
I think. Fuck. What? I think when I. Fuck. I don't even remember. I remember listening to. I was listening to mad mixtapes at a point. And I was writing a lot, and I was still on the fence because around this time is the era like everybody was still trying to be very gangster,
Right.
and I was kind of like I don't. Like I had that in me. I hadn't fully embraced it as much as I did like probably like a year or two later.
Yep.
But I was like I didn't know how to whatever, so I started just making party tracks, and then like I guess like the moment I really like accepted all of it, I was in jail. I was in Edmonton. I was locked up in remand. I was there for a year.
Oh shit.
I was facing like 6 years.
Damn, bro. What for? If
Yeah,
don't mind
I was
saying.
trafficking shit. Like I was selling dope, and
Oh yeah, man.
they tried to they literally like hit me with like 32 charges. So
Right.
I was what happened was I had like 32 charges, and so they're like, oh, we'll give you a plea of like 6 years, and I'm like, fuck you, like I don't have a record, like I didn't have a record before that, like I was doing shit, like I was in the streets and doing shit, but I never got caught, so it's kind of like how the fuck do like off top sick, like no way.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there. It's like Christmas.
Damn.
It was Christmas. I was in a different province. I couldn't fucking. My mom. I wouldn't let my mom come to Alberta to come see me because I would fucking kill me.
Yeah.
I had no one there, really. You know what I'm saying? And no, like I had no visits, and I didn't know what to do. Like I was kind of like. I was in this position of like being completely powerless. I imagine being in a place where you have to wake up. Somebody tells you to wake up. Someone tells you to go to sleep. Someone tells you when to like you can't shit in privacy kind of thing.
Yeah.
Plus I was on a max unit, so like it was just every week or 2 weeks there was someone was getting fucked up like very violently or there was a riot or some crazy shit. So I'm like basically stuck in like this hell dimension.
Yeah.
And it's Christmas. And my brain, and I've been there at this point about like 2.5 months.
Yeah.
And I just gone for like to try and get bail and they denied me. Like the week before, like Christmas was like 3 days after that. So I'm stuck there for Christmas.
Right.
And I started writing. Like I couldn't. My brain could not think because jail does kill that creative part of your brain. Like,
Yeah, man.
you can't think properly, and well, not that you can't think properly, but you can't be creative in that space. But my brain was like, no, write something, and I started writing this verse, and I kept writing it, and then I kept writing, and I started writing again, and I started drawing again, and I was like, fuck. I am in the worst position at this point in my life I've ever been in my life. And I still have this.
Yeah.
So if I still have this shit, it's not going anywhere. It's not like something like a fad thing. Like, this is part of who I am. It's like essentially in my DNA at this point. Then I'm gonna stop fucking around and make this a reality for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so, and it was still like a very long process after that. Like, I didn't, I honestly don't think until the last like 2 or 3 years did like my music start really like catching.
Yeah.
But it was still, I was still like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Damn.
Right? And I never stopped writing songs. I always was writing something. I was always like doing that because that was the way for me to get it out. Before like things like therapy or like, like people start talking about mental health or whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's the last couple years.
Yeah, just the last couple of years, like music was the way for me to get my emotions out because I didn't have another way.
Yeah, I didn't have an outlet.
Yeah, I didn't have an outlet. Like, because like I started drawing when I was 6 and like making comics and shit like that.
Oh.
That wasn't that didn't feed that creative thing in me, right?
Yeah.
That just kind of
Wasn't your
like
thing.
made it was just something that I would do when my mind would wander.
Right.
Meanwhile, here I am, like I'm making like fucking stanzas and onomatopoeias and like fucking and synonyms and metaphors and all this other shit. I'm like putting like pop culture references and referencing different things and like a lot of comic books and all sorts of shit until like words that I'm saying in a certain way that that people are relating to, and I'm like, fuck, like this is my thing.
Damn.
Right? You know what I mean? Like I feel like everybody in their entire life they search for this, what their purpose is.
Yeah.
Right? And through like the confusion that is life, we don't really realize what that is for a long time.
Right.
Right? Because we're told, oh, you have to go to college and you have to get a career.
Yeah. You have to make
do
money.
This. You have to make money.
Take
you have
care
to
of your
like
family.
your family. You have to get the girl. You have to have the kids. You have to do this. You have to do this.
Yeah.
And you don't figure out what your purpose is.
Yeah. Don't ever take time for yourself.
No, you never have time for yourself. You're always in here thinking about this. Your brain's always doing this, and you don't know what your purpose is. And that moment, for some reason, being in a fucking box for that amount of time, kind of gave me a clarity.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
It gave me this clarity of like, stop fucking around. And even then, after that, I still like kind of went back and I'm like, no, I need to make money and shit, and went back to the rat race of like, trying to make it my own way and doing like street shit or whatever it was. You know what I mean? To make this money and shit, and none of it ever made me happy.
Right.
There was a point in my life where like I was making like 10 grand a month, and I was living in a nice condo, and I had like a good car, and like I was buying like fucking gold chains like every week and shit.
Yeah.
And I was still miserable as fuck.
Yeah.
Because I had all the things, but I didn't. I wasn't focused on my purpose.
Yeah.
And having that empty feeling in you when everything is good is worse than feeling shitty when everything is bad.
Very true.
Because then you have everything and you're still like, why do I feel like fucking crap?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Man, that makes a big difference, dude. But, I appreciate you sharing that story, man. I think that's really powerful. Because it comes down to that, what we were saying earlier. It's about that conflict.
Yeah.
It's like that conflict takes you to this whole other fucking world. It really makes you focus in on your shit. Yeah. And then you have to actually deal with your own self. There's no other, especially being in jail, there's no other way. Like you can't, you're not reliant on somebody else. Like you said, you feel powerless in that moment. Yeah. So it's like now you have to bring that shit back to yourself so that when you get out of the circumstance, you're not going to feel that way for the rest of your life. Because so many people that I meet and so many people that I talk to are trapped in that mindset. Yeah. It's like, well, I would love to do this, but I'm not going to make any money off of it. So I'm not going to do it. And I'm like, that makes no sense. Yeah. That literally makes no sense to me.
No one wants to play the long game anymore. Everybody just wants the quick and easy.
They want the shortcuts. They want the $2 million in the bank account now.
Yeah, instant gratification.
Yeah.
Everybody wants the instant gratification moment. Yeah. And instant gratification never actually gratifies you. It just makes you feel happy for a split second and then it's fucking gone. Yeah, exactly. And that's what happens, right? Like people like don't think about the long term. Like I've had friends when I was starting to like why are you still doing music and shit? Like, you know, like you ever thought about doing something else? I'm like, no, because it's a long term game.
Yeah.
Like the whole point of it for me is like I will make it to a point where I can tour the world and I can make this amount of money and I can be straight and after when I feel like I've accomplished this goal in the music career that I wanted, and then I can take all what I've accomplished and all that I've accumulated and then move it into something else and still be like I did this shit and feel comfortable and happy with myself that I at least accomplished that shit. Like my mom's like, oh, wait. She's like, you're getting older now. When are you going to settle down? I'm like, I'm not going to be able to be settled unless I do what I want to do for myself.
Yeah.
Like, there's people who like have hopes and dreams and then they get in relationships and have kids and then they're miserable after that.
Yeah.
Because they didn't get to finish their whole life plan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel that. It's just like this burning passion inside you, and it doesn't go away with age, and it doesn't go away with time.
No.
It gets stronger because if you don't do anything about it, it just feeds it, man.
Yeah.
It's like all you can think about is this, and it just consumes you.
That's what happens. That's like a lot of artists get like mad depression or have mad drug issues.
Yeah.
Or whatever because they have that thing that's not getting fed.
Exactly.
Right? Like, I was listening to the Kanye album on the way here. It's okay.
Yeah.
But like, I see why he made it. Like, it's not about he's making it for the people. He's like, that was his way to like find himself again.
Exactly.
That's what I was listening to, and I'm like, that's what I heard from him. Like, this is Kanye trying to find himself again.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some like parts around the music that I'm not 100% behind, but the music itself, that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
Right? Because you need to feed that part of your soul, or else like it's just gonna slowly die, and you can see that shit in people when it slowly dies from them because they give up.
Yeah. When you talk to older people who have like been through life, been through this hard shit, especially like elders or grandparents, you see a lot of the shit that is still with them, but they can't do anything about it physically, right?
Yeah.
It's like their mentality is still there, but they're like physically crippled to be able to do it.
Yeah, they can't do it. And
that's
like
heartbreaking as fuck, man.
That's the shittiest thing, man, because it's like you have, I bet, like, because our parents' generation was like, just, you have to keep going. You're just like, push through it, like be realistic, be grounded and shit. And we're in a unique time right now where like we can kind of make our dreams come true. We have like the means to do it. Like monetarily, it's not there, but doesn't mean if you don't grind for it, it's not gonna show up, right?
Exactly, man.
And I think that's where a lot of my work ethic comes from is too. Is just like, look, like there's times I don't want to go to the gym. There's times that there's days I don't want to go out, but then like I'll sit there and I'm like, if I don't fucking do it today, then I'm not gonna do it tomorrow, and then I'm gonna feel like shit after. Yep. If I don't get up and go do it, who else is gonna do it for me? Ain't nobody. Like I can get fat on my own, I can lose the weight on my own too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I you know what I mean? Like I like at this point right now, like I'm more of a like I'm really more focused on the music. Like I'm working like on sets like doing that right now as like a gig, so I can focus on like my performances and getting my shit together,
right? And
whatever. Because at the end of the day, it's like. If I could sell my merch and stuff like that, because it's like, if I don't focus on my business, I'm not gonna have a fucking business.
Yeah. No one's gonna build this business without you, man.
Exactly. Like you have to put your effort in.
Yes.
Like, yeah, it doesn't mean it's not gonna be hard, and it's definitely gonna suck at times.
Yeah.
But life sucks at times anyway, so why not let it suck while you're building?
Yeah. And doing something that you can actually see becoming a reality in the next few years or a few months or whatever it may be.
Exactly.
And like, it's pushing you, right? You have that push and that pull, right?
Exactly. Like, why not push yourself now so you can be chilling in the future?
Yeah.
Right? Because I used to see those posters, those memes before. It was like grind in your 20s.
Oh yeah.
Chill in your 30s, or grind in your 20s. Relaxing in your 30s, chilling in your 40s, or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, at that point in my like early 20s, I was kind of like, I'll fucking get this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was like in that party mindset. Like I just wanted to not deal with life.
Right.
Now that I'm like older than that now, and I'm like, you know what, motherfucker? Like, I really should have grinded in my 20s.
Bro, hindsight 2020.
Right? Because like,
always there.
I look at some of the younger cats I knew growing up that I came up with, and they like started their business in like early 20s, and you never saw them, and now they're just chilling.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, like where was I? And I'm like, because I was out to lunch, I wasn't thinking about the future. I honestly, I didn't think I was gonna make it past 25.
Damn.
Like I literally was set up in a situation where I was not gonna make my 21st birthday. I was still in jail.
Damn.
So I was still there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I had every single resource to be like, I'm not gonna make it after here, and yet still like, a month after my 25th birthday, I'm out and I'm on bail and I'm free and I can fucking whatever, and like I can, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's like fuck, like fresh air. Like, yeah, I was in Edmonton and yeah, it's cold, but I don't care. The air is not gross.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can walk down the street. I can fucking go to McDonald's if I want to. I didn't go to McDonald's. I still don't really go to McDonald's. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, it's an option for me. You know what I mean? And I appreciate it so much more because I'm like, fuck, like I didn't have any of this shit.
Man, I saw a quote the other day, and I've seen it a lot of times, but it's exactly what you're saying. The discipline equals freedom.
Yeah.
It's not just having freedom and gives you discipline. It never works that way, man. If you can be disciplined in what you want to do, you can be disciplined in your mindset and like the goals and the achievable things you want to get done for yourself, not for other people necessarily, but for yourself.
Yeah.
That's what gives you the freedom, and that's what gives you the energy and the drive that so many people are wanting to find, right? Yeah, because I think, like, man, you have such a unique energy, and even just sitting down today, which is like the main reason why I wanted to do this interview in Vancouver, because I can feel it, man. Like, you're very passionate about what you're talking about, but you're also very fired up, and it seems like you don't want to waste a lot of time because you've already had that happen to you, man. I'm the same way, bro. I didn't go to jail or anything like that, but I was basically fucking stuck for a really, really long time in my younger life, and I wasn't allowed to do a lot of the shit that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And as soon as I got the opportunity to get out of my house, get out of Alberta, it was life changing, man. And I had to adapt the discipline though, man. Like I didn't stop working out, I didn't stop like producing videos, I didn't stop freelancing, and the last couple of years have been nuts. Like huge depression and shit because I feel like I've just been working for other people and not for myself.
Yeah.
And then I started doing this podcast and it changed everything up.
I'm telling you, it's facts because I've gone through depression too. Like I suffered from it. I think that's a thing that like a lot of people don't talk about is how society kind of gears us for this, sets us up for this massive depression.
Does, yeah.
And we don't deal with it at all. My depression was because I went through depression. I went through I started getting addicted to like coke and like drinking too fucking much and like all this other shit, and like to a point where like I was in this place where like half the nights I was out, I'd be like sitting there like, why the fuck am I here?
Yeah.
Like I had no actual reasoning for why I was doing the things I was doing, because at this point I'm just like trying to escape life.
Right.
And I wanted to die pretty much. Like I was severely fucked up. Like it's like I like, you know what I mean? Like I was mad out of shape. Like I wasn't shaving. Like everything was fucking, like I just looked like a fucking mess. Right?
Yeah.
And I had one really bad birthday. My 29th birthday was terrible. It was fucking, I got in like 3 fights that night.
Shit.
I got maced in the right eye.
Damn.
And I'd been like fucking that whole that weekend. On my birthday. Oh shit, my bad.
Yo, it's all good.
Sorry, I can't talk right now. Gotta do the podcast. All right, go. Sorry, I can't talk right now. What the fuck is Service Canada doing? That's not even my number. Who the fuck? All right, you know what? Leave me alone. Yeah. So that whole weekend I went super hard. I did like Molly, Coke, lean,
shit,
and drank all in one weekend.
Crazy.
And so like my body was just doing this. Like I think that was the closest I'd ever come to like actually dying.
Yeah.
And then I had a really bad weekend, and I got kicked out of my place.
Shit.
And I had nowhere to go, and I was sleeping inside my car, and I was sleeping at a studio that I was recording at.
Shit.
And fucking, I didn't know what to do. And somebody's just like, my friend, one of my best friends, shout out to Tixie, she's my tattoo artist as well, Banditas Inc. It's by Renfrew or Rupert Station.
Oh yeah.
If you ever need a tattoo, hit her up.
Hell yeah.
Gotta plug it. She was going through something similar to me, and she told me like, yo, I think you probably should get some help, and I did. And then a switch flipped, because like the music I was making before that was very aggressive, like super. Like, I can still tap into that whenever I need to, but It was more like I was so angry. I was so
Yeah.
angry at everything that happened to me. I had not dealt with any of it. It was making me crazy depressed. And when I started dealing with my shit, like a light went on, and the music changed, and I changed, and because I realized I can't keep living in this dark place of like not knowing what to do with my life,
Yeah.
like not realizing my purpose that's been in front of me the whole time and running away from my shit.
Right.
What I realized was this, like, depression comes in different forms. One of the forms it comes to is like people who don't want to deal with life
Yeah.
in reality.
They suppress that shit.
They
man.
suppress that shit and they don't deal with the pain they've gone through. They don't deal with the losses they've had, the friends they've lost, the mistakes they've made, the debt they might have put themselves in, like all these different life factors that like we are not fundamentally taught as children
Right.
or in high school, which is what the fucking curriculum should be, to deal with life as an adult.
Yeah.
Because that's what you need as an adult to be a fully functioning member of society, is to know how to deal with your emotional state.
Yeah.
Because none of us know we're raised with any of that shit. Like what is it? Like by 2019, I'd say like a good 50% of the population has a single parent.
Oh yeah. Man, my parents are divorced.
Yeah, exactly. So like that alone is a lot to unpack. And if you come from like a broken home, like a really broken home, or like there's abuse or whatever situation may have happened, that's a lot of traumatic experiences that we're not taught to deal with. So then we're just kind of just sent out to the world after like graduation, like, oh yeah, now go live. Like how the fuck, like
how you supposed to live with all that baggage?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Around,
like
man?
I'm supposed to be trying to do all this life shit, but I got like a fucking 20-pound boulder of bullshit on my back.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to go to this job interview and smile and pretend like I want to fucking be here. Like suck
Yeah.
my dick. You know what I mean? Like
Yo, I feel
fucking.
that.
That's not how it works. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I find now, especially people, as far as I've seen, is like people want music that makes them feel something or feel nothing.
Yeah.
There's no like middle line. There's like you need to feel something or feel nothing.
Very true.
And I'd rather make people feel something because I started to learn how to feel something.
Yeah.
I'd cut off my emotions. My brain works like this. Like if I ever wanted to be the person I was, like I could just do that and switch a flip and then cut my emotions off, and that's scary for me.
Yeah.
Because when I do that, that's like the darkest part of my mind is now my person.
Right.
And then I don't have I don't have any morals. I don't really care about too much. I don't even care about myself.
Yeah.
And like that's what depression does. It makes you turn off that switch to make you think you don't know. Not only do you not care about you, but no one cares about you. So
Yeah.
a lot of people think when you're depressed, like suicide is your first option. There's so many more ways to kill yourself.
Yeah.
Right? You could kill yourself by like constantly being in a criminal, by constantly partying, by getting in like super unhealthy, damaging relationships. You can like there's so many ways to die. Like that show, 1,000 Ways to Die. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
Like there's literally 1,000 ways to die, and depression leads you to every single one.
Absolutely.
So, for me, when I make music, especially the music I'm making now, like I want to get that message across for the person who is in that dark place that doesn't really see how things could get better.
Right.
Because that place, I know that place well.
Yeah.
When I started healing and working on myself and like whatever, I realized that dark place was a part of me since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And for a lot of us, it's there since we're kids. And if you don't deal with it now, by the time you get into your for me, I don't have any kids.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I don't want to fucking pass on that shit if I do have a kid to my kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want my kid to be like, to see him going through what I'm going through. Like my mom saw what I was going through, knowing what the fuck it is, and then kind of just trying to be like, oh, he'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Like I want to be able to give the world something that can help them figure themselves out, because God knows music did it for me. It helped me figure out who I wanted to be when I didn't know I wanted to be it. You know what I mean?
I do. Yeah, man. That's fucking poetic, dude. Like that whole reason is amazing, and I think so many people lack that, and they want to do it for fun, or they just want to do it because I don't know, they see somebody else doing it. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is a really good way to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't realize that there's gonna be a lot of fucking struggles.
Yeah.
And you don't realize that like you're gonna have to put a lot of yourself into it.
Yeah. You have to put your entire music isn't just about like I think the meaning of hip hop or for like hip hop is my core genre, right? So I think
Right.
the meaning of that, at least for rappers, has lost. Like hip hop is a counterculture.
It is.
So when it was started, it was like an answer to like people of color, black people not getting played on radio and like
Exactly.
and the youth not being heard, and a time in the Bronx when like fucking like buildings were like literally burning down like every day,
Yeah.
and like the city was in like such a bad recession, the government was bailing them out,
Mm-hmm.
and so this music comes along to talk about what it's really like for them, and like along the way, it got like when labels get involved, they tried to make it only like happy beats and all this other shit, and then you flip it to like the West Coast where like they were talking about like police brutality and like how the drug epidemic was like claiming so many lives and
Yeah.
all this other shit, and NWA was telling everybody fuck the police, which I still say to this day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what the point of it is. It's like you're supposed to talk about real shit. And
the
in our
injustice,
generation, right now, police brutality hasn't gone away, and mental health and mental illness and like fucking is like the biggest thing right
Yeah.
now because we're starting
Amen.
to realize how fucked up we all are.
Yeah, and exactly how fucked up everybody is like
Yeah.
mentally, and like how a lot of people don't even have their fucking core beliefs down. It's
Yeah.
just like whatever the flavor of the day is essentially,
Yeah, it's
man.
like it's like that's why I see how society, especially right now, they're everybody's jumping on somebody's back. It's like, oh, you did it, did you see the Dave Chappelle special, Sticks and Stones?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so that part about Kevin Hart
Yeah,
hit me in the heart because it's true.
it is,
He made a joke 10 fucking years ago about his kid being gay,
bro.
and they fucked him out of the Oscars
Yeah,
for it, which is the only thing you want. Like, I even agree with Dave. That's a weird fucking dream for a black man, but okay,
Yeah.
whatever. But like, that was his dream, and they fucked him out of it, and he still had to go on his apology tour.
exactly.
But like, making a joke doesn't necessarily mean that his core beliefs is like he actually feels that like people who are different are disrespected. Most of the time, that's not really the case,
Right.
right? Like, you can tell when somebody says something in a hateful, spiteful way.
Yeah, you can.
You can't do that with like a joke. Like, if someone says a joke and in a hateful, it's not funny. It's just ignorant, and people know it,
Exactly.
right? And I feel like right now everybody's jumping to like attack this person and cancel this person and do
Yeah.
this to this person, and you said this or you act this way or I don't like it. It's like, why the fuck are you like?
Why are you so offended?
Why are you so offended? Are you offended because everybody else is offended? Or are you offended? Are you just like following the trend? Like, figure out what the fuck you believe in
Yeah,
before you jump onto a team.
True.
Everybody wants to play on. Everybody wants to fucking play on. Everybody wanted to play on the Raptors, and then Kawhi left, and now nobody's talking about Toronto.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you stop fucking bandwagoning and shit. Figure out who the fuck you are first before you start doing that shit.
Amen.
Right? Like, you
Amen.
don't get to just do that to people.
No, absolutely, and that's no way to live
No,
because
it's
then
not
you
a way
just
to live.
you can become putty in whatever the new genre or the new fucking flavor of the day is,
Yeah.
and people just don't care about you or your opinions after
No.
a while, man. Like, you're just invalid in anything you say because it's like, oh, you probably just went on Google Trends and read the first 5 articles and were like,
Yeah,
oh, this is how
exactly.
I feel today.
This is how I feel today. Like, fuck
Yeah.
that shit. I don't like. Like in this interview, I literally said I've been a drug dealer and I've had a drug problem.
Yeah,
Right? Like, there's some people who will probably listen to this podcast and be like, I don't fuck with him because he did that. That's fine. I don't get. That's
Yeah.
cool. Thank you for listening. Bye.
yeah. I don't want you on the
But
team.
yeah, I don't want you on the team. But ask yourself, are you doing that because you don't like what I did, or it just hits too close to home and you're uncomfortable?
Yeah,
Right?
and you're uncomfortable facing your own struggles because they're lesser.
Exactly. Like, I can't control what you do with your life, but I can control what I do with mine.
Yeah.
And what I do with my life is I try my best to judge people on a case by case basis.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That's all you can really do with life. It's just like, look, like, you show me you show me your character. I've been saying this to a lot of my friends lately. It's like, you show me your character, and if your character, I vibe with what your character is and who you are as a person.
Yeah.
Then we're probably gonna be fucking friends. But if there's something in your character that I don't fuck with, I'm not gonna condone it, and we're not gonna be cool.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pretend to be like who's it? Like somebody was talking about the other day with me the like why I believe Michael Jackson didn't do it over like R. Kelly.
Oh yeah.
I was like, because I don't see the Mike's character.
Yeah.
Michael's weird, and yeah, I don't agree with the whole pigmentation thing or whatever the fuck he did to himself. That's his own life choices.
Right.
But from what I've seen of him, I don't see that in his character.
Yeah.
Or R. Kelly, I believed it right away.
Yeah, me too.
Because like there's not something about him ever since I was a kid just struck me as off.
Yeah.
And that was his character. You can't hide your character from people.
Exactly.
People choose to ignore that in people, that fucked up thing in people sometimes because there's money behind it.
Yes. Or
right?
they're talented. One of the two, man.
One talented or one of the two. But if they're both together and there's money's always gonna come first.
Yeah.
Talent,
100%.
like you know what I mean? Like fucking there's some really talented fucking people out in the world right now who have really shitty character and people do not fuck with them.
Yeah.
So, right? Because there's no money behind them, right?
Exactly.
So it's kind of like, and his character, I saw that in his character. I didn't, like, when the P-tape first came out and shit and Boot making fun of it, off top, I would never listen to R. Kelly again. Right. The only R. Kelly song I'd ever listened to at that point in time was like Ignition and fucking I Believe I Can Fly.
Yeah. Same.
After that, I didn't give a fuck about it.
Yeah.
Because I knew off top, like, he fucking did it.
Yeah. 100%.
Right? Like, there's no way that, like, I was going to be like, oh, no, like, there's a possibility. Like, no. I see that in your character, so I am not going to pretend like you're not a scumbag.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
and for me, like, I don't do that with people. Like, if you show me some skeezy part of you and think I'm just not going to call you the fuck out, like, bro, you got the wrong dude. Yeah. You got the wrong dude, my guy. Like, we're not the same. I don't play by the fuck rules of, like, no, you let it slide because I have money. No, I'll like, I'm going to tell you, like, fuck you to your face. And like I said before, if you want to make it a ting, pick up your chest. Let's come to my yard. Let's see what you want. You'll see. You know, I've been kickboxing, bro. Like, let's go. Yeah. I don't really like that shit. And I feel like people, as society as a whole, we need to kind of like stop looking at what everybody else is doing and look at what the fuck is wrong with us.
Yo, I agree with that so much, man.
Stop putting your nose in other people's business.
Yeah.
Right? Like don't call the neighbors on the fucking the Latino family across the street because they're having a fucking barbecue and the music's too loud. Why does that bother you so much?
Yeah.
Why can't you just go home and whatever? Like, why do you care so much what the next man is doing? Why do you care so much about? Why does this shorty over here care so much about like what this chick is posting on her Instagram and shit? Because she's like looking fire. Like, that's not like what she did to get that bag is not what you're doing to get your bag. So why do you care about her bag?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, stop investing so much of your time into watching everybody else. Figure out what's going on with you, fix that, then build off it. That's it.
Boom.
That's all you got to do.
I agree, man. I think that's a perfect place to end it, man. Yeah. It was a perfect about hour-long interview, dude. Yeah. And I honestly don't. I think the journey and the reason why we started this Uncommon podcast is to talk to people like you, but also to get real shit out there. A lot of people will say like, oh, you got to work on your mental health, you got to work on yourself, but they don't actually give examples of how they've done it themselves, and they're not fucking passionate when they talk about it. Yeah. And I think this is like what it's meant to do. It's meant to fucking open up myself and like learn from you, but it's also meant for other people so that you can have a fucking larger platform and be able to express yourself to other people, because it's important shit you need to hear. We oftentimes we push all of the knowledge and the important information that we want to other people, or to like people who have already made it and done it. And they don't talk about their struggles. They don't talk about their come up. And if they do, it's like maybe 2 minutes. And like, oh man, I had a rough come up when I was a child. And then I just kind of went through some shit and then I made it. Yeah. It's like, no, there's a lot of stuff that you have to work through and a lot of barriers you're going to have to hop up before you're going to really, really be your true self and that authentic self. But if you can do it, it makes life, and it makes you so much more passionate. It makes you so much more happy into everyday life, and you don't have to be fucking like, I'm not stressed about what other people are doing, and it makes it so much easier to focus on your own shit because you can only control yourself. Like you can't control what other people are going to say. I can't control how many people are going to watch this. I can influence it, but I can't control it, man.
Exactly.
You just got to let it be, bro. Just got to let it be.
Bro.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime, man. Feel free to come back. And yeah, I'm excited to see some of these shows. I'm going to try and make it out to a couple of them. And
all right, cool.
Fuck yeah, dude. We'll
all right, yeah, just for one more thing.
Yeah.
The show's coming up. It's November 6th. Studio Nightclub, Rhymes and Rhythm, Rhythm and Rhymes, tickets are $10. November 15th at Event Garden. Winter's coming. That's my own event, headlining that event. Tickets are $20. And then December 4th, Fortune for the Co-op Radio Christmas special event. I'll keep you posted on that one. But yo, make sure you're trying to come out. Hit me up in the DM, Grizzy at Instagram, Grizzy Wynter. My website is grizzywynter.com.
Sweet.
Hit me up. I got merch on sale. I got all the stuff on sale. Songs are dropping pretty much like on a monthly basis. So let me know.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Grizzy Gang. Peace out.
Do it. Perfect.